This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Now, let's get into what happened last night, specifically what happened last night. And this has to do again with what I just talked about now in the first diatribe I gave you on the Miami Heat. Let's talk about the real problem. This team is just not good enough. They weren't long enough. They weren't big enough. They weren't athletic enough last night. Let's walk you through this. Last night, 63-39. That's disgusting. Offensive rebounds, 22-6. Okay? And everybody's going to go Clint Capella with 21 rebounds. Everybody's going to say that. And then you're going to look at Bam, and wow, Bam, they really needed you to be Dennis Rodman. You came up with 9 freaking weak-ass rebounds. Are you kidding me? Now, that's the obvious one that you're all going to go, and everybody's going to point to. Let's go deeper into the numbers. Let's actually look at what the fuck went on yesterday, okay? Saddiq Bey picks up 6 rebounds off the bench. Key rebounds, by the way. Key putbacks by Saddiq Bey. Jalen Johnson picks up 7 rebounds, okay? Trae Young, a fucking garden gnome, picked up 8 rebounds. The Miami Heat allowed a fucking garden gnome to pick up 8 rebounds. What the hell is that, dude? Are you serious? You're allowing a guy that is, I don't know, slightly taller than the bench you sit on to get 8 rebounds. 8 rebounds for Trae Young. That's effort, bro. The bench for the Hawks, 19 rebounds. The Heat, 12. Offensive rebounds, 8-3. It wasn't only Clint Capella. No, it was everybody was making an effort. Did everybody on the Heat make an effort? No. That's why you lost. Everything you see about it, the effort was there for Atlanta from top to bottom. It wasn't just Clint Capella, dude. And yeah, Bam is soft. He's passive Bam. What have I called him for 2 years now? And that's his perfect name. He's a super role player. He's not a star. Stars impose their will. Stars don't sit there 5 years in, 6 years into a career, and they sit there after a playoff game and say, well, we got to figure out a way to get me the ball. No, dude, you need to fucking demand the ball. That's what you need to do. You need to impose your will. How come you never do that, dude? How come you're always passive? And you've been passive for weeks now. You started off the season playing the game the way you're supposed to play it, and you couldn't maintain it, man. Why? Why can't you maintain that intensity? Because it's not who you are. You're too nice of a guy. You got no fucking edge. You play with pure athleticism. You play with no anger, no edge. That's what Jimmy Butler plays with. That's what's gotten him to the point that he made himself an all-star. He is a manufactured all-star. Ray Allen, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Jokic, Ja Morant. These guys were gifted star talent. Like all they had to do was refine it. Jimmy Butler had no shot at being an all-star. He had to manufacture it, construct it, build it, and then get there. He had to blue-collar his ass there to be a low-ring star, by the way, because that's what he is. He is the lowest ring star you can have. Whatever it is, he's a star, but he's like a low ring star. He's not in the Magic Johnson and a Larry Bird. He's not in the Ray Allen. He's nowhere near those kind of stars. Those are superstars. He's like an all-star. That's why I said when they acquired Jimmy Butler, you need to acquire somebody better than him. And Pat Riley failed. And once he failed to do that in the first couple of years, he should have never extended him, and he made another mistake. So last night, this is a team that shows me they don't have it. They're not dogs. Jimmy Butler has dog in him, but he can only do it for so long. Okay? Tyler Hero shoots well, but there's no dog in him. He shot 12 of 23. It took him 23 shots for 26 points. Kiss my ass. That's not good enough. Sorry. 2 for 9 from three-point range. Sorry. You're not good enough. You're not tough enough. You're not physically imposing. You cannot be a guy on this team. And neither can Bam. Butler's the only guy, and Butler would be a number 3 in a real big 3. Is Butler a 3 with Shaq and Wade? Yeah. Is Butler a 4 with Wade, Bosh, and LeBron? Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, Butler's a 4. Exactly. You understand what I'm saying? Like, let's not kid ourselves. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't get drunk. Don't, we're not here hanging out with Jim Jones. Okay? Let's not drink the Kool-Aid. Let's not be stupid. Let's not get ignorant. Let's not get crazy. Jimmy Butler's fantastic. He's a blessing. He's been fun to watch. He's not good enough to be your number 1. He's no Wade. He's no Alonzo Mourning. I've seen number 1s. He's not one of those. Now, he'll work his ass off, God bless him, but he's a 2 at best. Better a 3 in this league because he can't shoot. You can't work your ass off in this league for a bunch of 2s. The league changed, bro. We're not in the 90s anymore. Jimmy Butler is a rich man's John Starks. God bless him. But it's not good enough. Just not good enough. And this team is not good enough. It doesn't have enough dogs. It only has one dog on the team. His name is Jimmy Butler. Bam is not a dog. And, hey, bro, we're done with this shit already with Bam. We're done with this shit. Okay? Bam's a super role player. Let's stop making him what he isn't. Let's stop forcing the square peg in the round hole. When you're a star, dude. You show your colors right away. How many more years are we going to keep waiting for Bam Adebayo? Super role player is what he is. He is not a face of a franchise. He's not a number 2. He's a number 3 at best if you have 2 elite number 2s. So notice what you have in Butler and in Bam. At best, you have a number 3. In a legit world of stars. I don't know. You've seen the stars here before. Okay? And somebody has to take the shots. Somebody has to drive. Jimmy's been the only one because he's the only dog on the damn team. So that's why you get blinded by the production, because somebody has to do it. No one else has the balls to step up. No one has the balls to step up. No one has the balls to take over games. Only Jimmy has the balls to take over games. So it's deceiving to say how good he is if you think he's elite. No, he's not. He's that level under. He's not elite. Elite is Dwayne Wade. Okay? So if you're putting Butler in Wade's category, you don't know shit about basketball. Let's just get that straight. You don't know shit about basketball. Okay? So love what he's done. It was a terrific shot in acquiring him, but you failed to acquire somebody better. And that's why this experiment never got to its peak. You got a lot out of it thanks to the great coach you have in Eric Spoelstra, because he's the only real gem that is worthy of celebrating, keeping, honoring, putting him in the rafters, whatever you want to do with Spo. I'm good, bro. Okay? But you can't keep giving him, chicken shit and expect him to make chicken salad. He made chicken salad last year. He got you a shot away from the finals with a guy that's not a shooter. What more do you want? You want him to do it again? What the hell do you think he is, bro? You think he's a magician? No. And as I've said the example over and over and over again, your 41-41 team, you found out who they were the following. They had to add Wade and Olynyk to be a little better, but you saw who Whiteside and Tyler and all, and James Johnson and Dion were garbage. Garbage deals, and Spo maxed it out to go 41-41. But then you found out what they were. They weren't that good. You got your bubble team. They couldn't follow it up because they weren't that good. They were just that good in that moment. And by the way, they could have won it. If Bam and Goran stay healthy, they had a shot, because the Lakers weren't that special or anything like that, and the Heat were hot at that moment. So it did derail them, but you want Spo to do it again? No, bro. That is what it is. And then last year's team, they're one shot away. And what do you expect? You expect him to do it again? No, bro. He maxes it out as much as he can. But eventually, the prince goes back to being a toad, bro. And you keep giving toads to him. You keep giving him chicken shit. And you keep asking him to make him a prince or a salad. And I'm sorry, you can only ask for so much. This team is not good enough. And again, as I've said over and over again, just look at the role players. Just look at the stars that won you titles and look at them now and compare the names, compare the resumes. Are there any comparisons? Zero. Absolutely zero. And that's the problem, folks. You have lowered your level of talent lately since the big three. Your role players aren't good enough. Your stars aren't good enough. You're not really getting whales. Okay? You got let's say Wade and Zoe and Timmy and LeBron and Bosh and, early Shaq. That Shaq at the end was a little overweight already, but most of these guys are killer whales. Okay? Jimmy is wired like a killer whale, but he doesn't have the talent of a killer whale. I don't know what I don't want to call him a sperm whale. I don't know what other whales. I'm trying to think of another type of whale, but Jimmy's a whale, but not a killer whale, because he doesn't have the killer talent that we're talking about with those other guys that we've seen here. So if you look across the board from the stars to the role players, they have gone downhill. And so until they, get better players with more character, with more professionalism, with more killer in them, because Bam doesn't have any killer in him. Tyler's not a killer. We keep living off the bubble and the snarl and all that bullshit and all that. Kid's never gone back to that. And he doesn't play on the other side of the ball. It doesn't help you. He can't steal the ball from somebody. He can't stop somebody. None of these guys can cover on the perimeter. Gabe, whatever. None of these guys keep anybody in front of them anymore, or ever did. So until you improve the class of player you're bringing in, we really can't demand championships. And what we're doing as at Heat Nation is we are low IQing this thing, is what we're doing, because we've seen better. We know what better is, but yet we're expecting more from less. And that's weird. That's really weird. And as for Pat Riley, he needs to, if he wants to retire and walk away, it ain't going to be with this group. And he needs to clean house, and he needs to go find better players and better superstars. And he needs to start landing like the real superstars, not the secondary superstar like Jimmy. Better than Jimmy. And the role players, stop tying yourself down to these G Leaguers that they're nice, but they're not dogs. You want to win? Get sons of bitches, bro. Okay? Get mother effers. That's how you win. You get dogs, bro. You get dogs that make plays. Say what you want about Chris Bosh, because, Chris was Mr. Decent, carried himself well, wasn't a dude that had like a street edge to him or whatever. But brother, he made plays. Plays. When you needed him, he made plays. He carried his own team by himself in Toronto a few times to the playoffs. That's what number ones do. And Bosh at times doesn't get enough credit for being the pro that he was. You know what I mean? The end frustrated me that he didn't give into the blood clot and just say, yo, bro, that's it, because he was holding the Heat hostage. That part really pissed me off at times, I will admit. But the player, dude, he comes in clutch. LeBron would be off, then he would step up and have a great night. Wade was off, then he would step up and have a great night. If not, then he'd take the back seat and compliment, which took a lot of, what's it called? A lot of professionalism. But we've seen the great players, man, here. We've watched the guys dominate and that play at an incredibly high level. Jimmy Butler couldn't play at an incredibly high level yesterday. 6 of 19. Yeah, no, man. Things got to change. And if Riley wants to walk off into the sunset the right way, well, guess what?
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.